So welcome back to our playthrough, our Let's Play with Beyblade Evolution. Now we've been working through the story mode here and we've made quite a bit of progress. We've played some tournaments, we've started buying our own Beyblades and customising them in the shop. And we're just getting to know the various people in the map, navigating our way around. But what I want to do in this episode is have a close look at what other elements alongside that story mode you've got. Now, as we've been accruing characters and elements of Beyblades that we can put together, we can pop out and have a look at the other modes and draw those things in that we've won in the story mode. So here you've got a variety of settings. If you pop out of the map mode, in the section here you've got plans. Now this is where, as you play through the story, particular other characters will challenge you or ask you to meet them in a particular place to have a duel, and there'll be a particular reward or particular reason for doing that, and they appear here, and that you can keep track of them there. Of course, we need to save our settings as we go. Oops, if we just return back, that's base settings at the top, shows you the progress you're making. If we click save, just make sure we've got all our progress saved before we go and muck about too much in the settings. So pop into settings, and that is where you get a good view of your Beyblades you've got. So here's our Dark Wolf, and you saw last episode how we customised it and changed the bottom bit, which comes into contact with the track there, the stadium, and that granted us a much larger attack as it moved around more. At the bottom you can see, and you can basically create and customise different setups of your Beyblades in these slots down below. The one you're currently using is specified there. So that's quite useful if you want to set up decks and you're not in story mode. So now we've saved, let's go back to the menu. It's saying I haven't saved, so let's just save what we've done. Obviously we've had a look at the base settings and we needed to save those. So now let's pop back to the menu. Oh, it's still saying we haven't saved, but I know we have. So I'll say yes. Let's return to the menu. So here we go. We've got the different other elements. We've been looking at the base story here, but we have Bey Battle Mode and Bey Factory Mode. So if we go to Bey Battle Mode, there's some interesting things that pop up, and we can see a lot more about what's included in the game. So if we pop this in front of the camera and go, we're going to do a data battle, which means we're going to be using the elements and the Beyblades that we've won as part of the story mode to attack other characters and to have battles. Now what's interesting here is that you can hop into the character settings and get a really in-depth look at what characters and what Beyblade tops are going to be available in the game. Now as we work through these characters, you'll probably recognise some of them. I recognised a bunch. Now they don't actually come up with their names here, or not in anywhere I can see. So let's just pop this down as we're going to be going up and down the screen. So here you can see the top screen: Galaxy Pegasus W1005 R2F. Now you probably, if you're a regular watcher of Beyblades, you probably know that's Ginka Hagani, and some of these characters have more than one top, because in the series, in the shows, they appear in multiple shows and use multiple tops as well. So that was his first top was included there, the Galaxy Pegasus, but he also has a Cosmic Pegasus W1005 R2F, and as you can see there, it has a little bit less defense but a bit more stamina. And as we move along these characters, you can see our next one comes into view. Rock Leone 145WB. Now, do you know whose Beyblade that is? Koyoya Tatagami. I think that's how you pronounce it. That's his Beyblade, and you can see that it's quite a defensive type. He also has Fang Leone 130W2D. Now, Koyoya appeared in Metal Fusion, Metal Masters and Metal Fury, and each of those are a year apart, and he's getting a year older in all of them. And now he doesn't have as many different Beyblade as some of the other characters. He had just these two, and so both of his are included in the game, and you can choose them to battle. So moving on, move on to the next set. Now, who's this little chap with green hair? Do we recognise him? Kenta Yamiya. and we have his Flame Sagittario C145S. Now I really like the look of this. It's certainly a Beyblade I'd like to collect in real life, and has some great stats. I'm a bit of a sucker for the stamina versions of the Beyblades, or the stamina Beyblades. Now he had a couple of different Beyblades. He appeared in Metal Fusion, Metal Masters, and Metal Fury. He had this Flame Sagittario, but he also had a Flash version. I wonder if that's included. No, so it's just his Flame Sagittario. His Flash Sagittario 230WD isn't included in the game, or not in this section, so maybe that will crop up elsewhere. Now we move on to this Ray Striker T125 CS, and the classically outlined white and dark hair is obviously Masamune Kadoya, who we met in the story mode recently. Now again, he has a few different Beyblades and appears in some different episodes. One of the more recent characters appearing in Metal Masters and Metal Fury. He has that Ray Striker we were just looking at, but he also has this Blitz Striker 100 RSF, and as you can see, looks quite nice. Like the Blitz logo. Super big attack, and his other one is a much more of a balanced type. So again, moving on, Eagler 145WD is the property of Tsusuba Otori. And again, they appeared in a whole bunch of episodes, right back from Metal Fusion, Metal Masters, Metal Fury, and also as being much older. He was 24 in 0G episode. He has just this one Beyblade that he's appeared using, so I don't expect him to be there in any other form. So then we move on. Now, Flame Libra T125ES, which I think is Tendo. He's the character that has used this Beyblade in Metal Fusion, Metal Masters, and Metal Fury. And again, he only has this one, so I suspect that's the only one we'll be seeing from him in the game. Now, this is a Beyblade my son really likes, and he's been trying to find it in stores. Ryuga is the character in the cartoons that uses this in Metal Fusion, Metal Masters, Metal Fury. And there's obviously that rumour that perhaps he has passed away, but we'll see if that's the case as we move on in the cartoons and the story. He has a few Beyblades. Now, I suspect, just looking up, this is his most recent one, Mateo L. Drago LW 105 LF, a bit of a mouthful, and it has a counterclockwise spin there, as you can see in the top, and it has a massive attack, so really quite formidable Beyblade to fight against. I suspect that's the only one we've got from him. We've got two. We've got his, of course, yes, we've got his L Drago Destructor LW 105 LF top as well. So a couple of options of who we want to take on there. Now we start getting on to territory and characters that I'm not so sure about. So let's just whip through these because there's quite a lot to get through here. So we have the Skive Kronos T125 EDS. Now let's just see if we can work out which Beyblade series that is from. Is it Metal System? No, the naming would suggest that it's not. So it must be either Metal Fusion, Metal Masters, Metal Fury. There we are, Metal Fury. Skive Kronos T125 EDS. And it first appeared in Metal Fight Beyblade 4D episode 10. I like the look of that one, but we'll press on with these a bit quicker. So you can see them all. Very Ares 145WB, defense type, top there. Again, if you recognise these characters, it'd be great if you could just pop on the comments and let us know who they are. I'm sure you guys know much more about this whole world than we do. Stamina type top here, Phantom Orion TR145ES, particularly if you've used these tops and you think they're good and that the stats here represent how they behave in the real world. And perhaps any shortcomings that we could maybe test out in the game as we do some hands-on. Again, that would be quite interesting as well. So Dark Bull H145SD, Flame Bixis 230 WD, so that's a massively tall top. I think it's from a different series because it just stands so high off the ground, so it has lots of stamina. Perhaps because that's that height, but really doesn't. The attack. It's not going to come into contact with other Beyblades that much. Again, moving on, we've got Spiral Fox. This is a much more normal height here. TR 145. That's the height from the track. W squared D. Again, those elements coming together to give us quite a bit of attack. A pretty balanced Beyblade. Rock Aries 145 WD. Again, it's not going to move around much. It's not going to give us a lot of attack because this bottom here, it's going to be pretty steady in the stadium. Defense and stamina. Moving on again, Spiral Lyra ED 145 MF. As you can see, the stats there. Quite an interesting combination. I usually go for ones that have a lot of stamina because I'm just concerned that I'm going to run out of motion. But if you get enough attack and you can come into contact, then that's not a bad route to go. Talking about different routes to go, here's a real defense Beyblade, Rock Zurafa R145WD. And the last two we've got in our character list, the Flame Gasher WD145WD. Pretty balanced setup there. And then finally, Jade Jupiter 130B. Absolutely no attack here. All about the defense and stamina, which is really interesting because I think that is some of the elements. I guess this end bit here, if I can get it round in shot, is something I'd like to get hold of to apply to my defensive stamina Beyblade setup. So we could pick one of these, click confirm. Let me pick one of ours from our Beyblade collection now. Settings database is which means the ones we've set up. Now what I want to do here is to use my thermal Lactera WA130HF. Now the reason we made this, let me just go and grab the actual toy. So we had this actual Beyblade top as we were getting to grips with the series. This is one of the first ones we bought. And what I wanted to do was to say, okay, well, how does this top compare to others? And my kids were trying to decide what other tops should we buy. Is there a good way to do that? So one of the ways to do that was to recreate this top as close as we could by winning elements. We've still got a bit of way to go. It's not spot on. Some of the colouring is slightly different, but in terms of the actual elements, it's pretty similar. And so I think the stats and how it behaves are going to be pretty similar. So it's now quite interesting. So what we can do, pop that there, is to play this against those other Beyblade's tops that we were picking from. So I'll confirm that. And we get to see how it performs. So when they're looking at what other Beyblades to buy in the shops, they can try them out here, see how they behave in the simulation, and then pick the ones that they think is going to be best. So let's get ready to rip. One, whip. Oh, it's a little bit late. It felt. I'm going to start storing up my spirit. Got a lot of momentum, stamina still at the top. Pretty confident. There's no ring out on this stadium, so that's great news for me. I didn't even have to use it. So that was a great little test there. And that was interesting because, before you buy a new Beyblade, which aren't that cheap, you want to know how it's going to fare, particularly if you're going to be playing against brothers and sisters and that sort of sibling rivalry. So here we were able to test out how that worked in the simulation on the game. Now what we're going to do in a future episode is get some real battles going on where we have two matching real world Beyblade tops alongside a simulated top, and to see how the real world and simulation match up. I think that's a real exciting aspect of this game, is being able to test out all these tops. To see the stats and the NPC characters. Obviously they change the rules and the stadiums as well. So there you go. That's our look at the data battle. You could also do a local wireless battle where you can fight against other people. And again, that's you're customizing and collecting your Beyblades and then seeing how they compare against friends. And then you've got survival mode. Now this is where you can unlock stuff, but you need to have some really good Beyblades because this is no mean feat to keep surviving, and you need to go through a number of straight wins to unlock each of these different areas. So we're still working at this, but as you do that, you're going to be awarded special prizes, special parts, and more money, and so that's a nice way to progress through the game. So we'll go back. So there you go. that's a look at some of the Bey Battle Mode. We'll look at the Bey Factory Mode another time. So they go Beyblade Evolution. Now, as ever, subscribe to the channel. It means we can let you know when we have new episodes of the Beyblade coverage. We're going to have loads of stuff coming up. We're also going to be looking at some Beyblade tops. We've got some nice exclusive access to some of the new tops coming out. So if you subscribe, like the video if you like it, don't like it if you don't. But also, comment. What we're really sort of getting to grips with what Beyblade is coming in as, I guess, relative outsiders with an interest in the video games, but wanting to say, well, how does this crossover happen between the game and the tops in the real world? Have you played previous Beyblade games on the DS, the GBA, the PlayStation, the GameCube? And how they compared? Have they been part of your enjoyment of Beyblade? And also, how should we play this game? Are there particular Beyblade elements, parts we should get hold of to really rattle through it? Or do you think there's a particular strategy we should be employing? Which are your favourite characters? Who should we be throwing down against? All those sort of things would be really helpful if you get those in the comments. So that's what we've got time for this episode of the Family Gamer TV Let's Play of Beyblade Evolution. We'll have more for you soon.